I go for refuge and human enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my conditions of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge and human enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my conditions of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge and human enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulation of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha, the benefit of all sentient beings. Clear? Okay. Okay, is it possible for Catherine to join us? Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Swaha. 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 Om Muni Muni Mahamuni 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 Swaha. Okay, what we're going to do is the designing a blueprint of one's the daily practice for lifelong daily practice. Okay, so those of us who have time, there are several ways of looking at it. There's those of us who have time, for example, like say now you have already resigned or retired from your work, and then you have full time, and you don't have to take care of, say, no special family responsibilities, nothing. Now, the whole time is in your hand. 24 hours in your hand. Then what we've been doing in the mornings, like the 2 hours, what we do, they'll be very good. They'll be very good. Which the recitation is there, plus the meditation is there. Because at times, what happens is that some people, because of so many commitments, so they even find it so difficult to finish the sadhanas, finish the commitments, and then by the time it's time for your meditation, you're already very exhausted. So you don't have the energy left to do the actual meditation. So without the actual meditation, this is very sad. And ideally speaking, if the sadhanas, they are actually to be incorporated, sadhanas themselves are meditation actually. But nowadays, our sadhana is very different. Our sadhana is just to be recited, not meditated, right? So we cannot even finish. We dash through, still we cannot finish that. So therefore, the meditation doesn't really happen during sadhanas. But still, many people say that this is meditation. I would say that this is maybe 5% meditation. It's not really a meditation. So whereas some people who are fully dedicated, and it's not necessary that it should be only somebody who is so learned, so many years of systematic learning, and then Sutra, Tantra, only those people are eligible. No, even amongst commoners, we never know what their karmic connection is. On that basis, then they do the sadhana very precisely, where they have changed meditations, their daily meditation emptiness. And then, say, within the sadhana, there should be actually the two things, which is, one is the generation stage, and another one is the completion stage. Generation stage is more on the meditation which you have been doing, apart from the epistemic meditations of Bodhicitta, all the single point of meditation, these things are included there in the generation stage. And then more sophisticated version generation stage, and going towards completion stage, then it becomes very sophisticated, say the single pointed and the analytical meditation together, shamatha vipassana together. Okay, these things are there. So unfortunately, we don't even finish the sadhana, we think the sadhanas. So therefore, the point is that keep in mind, there's no hard and fast rule to say that, okay, these recitations might be done, this practice should be done. There's no hard and fast rule. Idea is that our mind should grow. This is the idea. Our mind should keep growing from in a holistic way. This is what we should be happening. Gati should be happening. For the growth, actual meditation must be there. And actual meditation, and then for us, because we are very beginners, actual meditation must be complemented by other factors to enrich the meditation. For example, reciting the important texts, small texts, and the passages we have been reading before, we read in the mornings. These passages, they're all meant to activate the seat. So the idea is that if we have time, then I would say that the morning session which we did, you can either do in one session or you can split that into 2 sessions. Till the Vajra moon practice, generating consummate mind of enlightenment, till that point, you can do 1 session, and the second half you can do as a second session. So this is one thing. Then otherwise, what we have been doing in the morning, if you can do this more full-fledged, that would be wonderful. Then alongside, you can also then emphasize more on, say, any meditation, like single-pointed meditation, and then the Bodhicitta, wisdom and emptiness, these 2 things. After learning this, we must have to have some exposure to these 2 things. Some meditation must be done. And for the Bodhicitta here, we've been doing the 4 measurables, then the Bodhicitta commitment. But in your home, I would very much encourage you to do that. If you have energy, you can do both the methods every day. If you don't have energy, but sometimes it's very exhausting, because these are unlike single-point meditation, the analytical meditation, it consumes lots of energy because you will feel tired. In this case, you can alternate the 2 methods. Today, if you do the 7-fold, the next day you do the classification method. So you alternate between the 2 things. Okay. So this one thing. Then emptiness meditation. We did not do that, right? Emptiness meditation, except for the meditation emptiness of mind, we did to mention to that. Okay, so the emptiness meditation, what we suggest is that actually we should be doing it, but mornings we do that. Mornings we've been doing the emptiness meditation, but what we can do is that in bodhiwisdom.org, there's one website, Bodhi, BODHI-WISDOM, bodhiwisdom.org. And if you cannot note it down, you can get from Nico. He'll give you bodhiwisdom.org. So there, all these recordings of how the meditation must be, how the meditation emptiness to be done. So that is given there in great detail. You'll find it there. You can listen to this. You'll get everything. Okay. So emptiness meditation is also on top of what we've been doing in the mornings, like 2 hours. Then if you do it by yourself, it will be much less time. It will not take 2 hours. It's like between 1 hour and 1.5 hours. And then in the afternoons, in the evenings, you can include again the single-pointed meditation, part of single-pointed meditation, Bodhicitta meditation separate, and emptiness meditation. Okay. This one thing. Now, let's say if you have in whole one day, if you have just 1 hour, in whole one day, if you have just 1 hour, and then you also have your sadhana, right? And sadhana, how long does it take? It takes half an hour, then you have only half an hour left now, right? Say, with your job, with your responsibilities, household responsibilities, with your work, and so forth, you have just total 1 hour. Of 1 hour, then how much time do you have to spend on sadhanas? Right? Sadhanas meaning those who have taken the highest yoga tantra empowerments. Those who have taken highest yoga tantra empowerments, you have the sadhana commitments. So these I cannot do anything, I cannot touch it. Right? Because it is you and your guru from whom you receive the highest yoga tantra. So that part, whatever commitment taught by indicated by the Buddha, that you have to indicated by the Guru, you have to do it, right? Okay. And then say, if the sadhana takes like half an hour, then the remaining half an hour, you do the what? You do the morning, what we have been doing in the morning, that we will have to do in half an hour. And those of us who have, like, say, whole 1 hour, solid 1 hour for this practice, then what you can do is that same, you turn to page 3. From page 3, you can read all these. You can read all the stanzas down till page 8. Page 8. If you have 1 hour, then page 14, you can read it sometimes. Sometimes you can read it, sometimes you may not read it. Page 14. And then the next Half Sutra. Half Sutra, again same thing. Sometimes you can read it, sometimes you may not read it. But Half Sutra mantra you must recite. Half Sutra mantra you must recite at least like 3 times or 7 times. And when you have more time, you can with the tune. You can recite with tune. You can say this with tune. And otherwise you can recite plainly. Meanwhile, remembering that this is how I should proceed, how I should progress my mind, and eventually achieve Buddhahood. And that it happens only by the wisdom of emptiness, with the push by the Bodhicitta. With that awareness, you have to do it wholeheartedly. Half Sutra. Then the 8 verses, same thing. 8 verses, there is no hard and fast rule. 8 verses, sometimes you read, sometimes you may not read. 8 verses. 8 verses. But if you have time, all what we've been doing, they are extremely helpful. They will be greatly beneficial. But if you don't, if you just like half an hour or 40 minutes, then 8 verses, sometimes you do it, sometimes you may not do it, it's fine. Okay. Then the 7th puja, again same thing. When you have more leisure time, you do the full. Page 34, you do the full. If not, if you have no time, then you just read this stanza 12. Stanza 12, that suffices the 7th puja. The stanza 12, which is whatever. This is a summary. It's a summary of the 7th puja. Stanza 12, you do that, and then the say the mantle offering. If you have time, you do it. If not, you do the 2 requests. The 2 requests as a part of the mantle offering. The 2 requests, which is on page 37. I don't know what is in your page. It may be slightly different. The 2 requests: the 4 dharmas of Venerable Kanpopa and 4 dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva. Okay. Then the 39, foundation of all good call, this is must. Foundation of all good call, this must. This is must. Okay. Then the generally the mind of concept yoga, which is the Vajrayana practice. For this, you do the 4 seals as part of renunciation. And before that, the breathing meditation, not 5 minutes. We have been doing 5 minutes. In group, 5 minutes is fine. In group, when we do 5 minutes, is no problem, because psychologically, you are alert in group. When you're by yourself, you feel so relaxed, and then you're more prone to excitement and mental anxiety when you're by yourself. So, don't do 5 minutes. Do it like, say, 21 cycles. Breathe in, breathe out, cycle 1. Breathe in, breathe out, cycle 2, 21 times. 21 times is like little over 1 minute. And little 1 minute into 1 minute, and the keep like 5-6 seconds gap, and do the second session. Again, 21 cycles. 2 times. If you want to 3 times, again I keep 5 to 6 seconds gap, and do 3rd time. Total 3 in the morning, and then 3 in the evening. 3, 2, 1, whatever. Okay. So this is 1. Then after this, the 4 seals. If you have time, do it more leisurely. If you have time, 4 seals, do it more leisurely. Think about impermanence, suffering, emptiness, and the nirvana. 4, think more leisurely, how we do. If you don't have time, just recite the 4 seals, but making sure that they are true, not just reciting. All composite things are impermanent. Yes, I'm impermanent. Death is impermanent. This is what is bound to happen. Then all contaminant things are of nature. As long as under the sway of the contaminations, self-grasping, self-centered attitude, it will only give rise to miseries. Everything's nature, emptiness, selflessness. Think about emptiness very quickly. Everything's like a dream. Everything all coming from the subject, nothing from the object. Transcendent soul is nirvana. In this experience, emptiness, all miseries dissolve. This is nirvana. Stay like this. Then switch to bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, if you have time, then do one or two methods. If you have no time, then do the four immeasurables. Then conclude with the bodhicitta aspiration. Bodhicitta aspiration, change it into moon disk. Then quickly, the emptiness meditation, quickly do it, just bring it back. Bring it back what you meditated earlier, and Vajra, and then share this with all your mother sentient beings. Then invoke the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to send they bless us with the Vajra moon that they have, to multiply infinite number of times, share with you, all the mother sentient beings. Okay, then finish. Then you do the meditation prayer. So this will be, this take like between half an hour to 1 hour. Half an hour to 1 hour. Now if you have only about like 20 minutes to half an hour, 20 minutes, or say 20 minutes or 25 minutes like this, then what you do is, you can do the refuge, page 4, refuge in bodhicitta. If it's just like 20 minutes, 20 minutes, first refuge, then you recite the Ye Dharma mantra, then recite the Harsutra mantra, then followed by the stanza 12 of the 7 puja, stanza 12 of the 7 puja, and then the foundation of all good qualities. Stanza 12 of the 7 puja, and then the foundation of all good qualities. That must be good. That is no compromise, right? Then followed by say the 21 cycles breathing meditation. 21 cycles breathing meditation. Then the 4 seals, recite the 4 seals. Think very seriously, it will take like 1 or 2 minutes. 4 seals, and then switch to bodhicitta. For the bodhicitta, you can make, okay, for the bodhicitta, do it like this. For the bodhicitta, wholeheartedly, pray that may I become Buddha for the people. Say it 3 times, wholeheartedly say it 3 times. Then change it to the moon disk. Then think about the emptiness. Think about emptiness, okay. Think about emptiness, 3 points. Think about emptiness, 3 points. 1, right? 3 points. 1, the self, I. Point 1, what is I? How does this I look like? Point 1. Point 2, your 6 elements. What is really there? Just the 6 elements. Subject to alternate analysis, just the 6 elements. Point number 3, ask 2 questions. Ask 2 questions. First, what am I seeing? I'm seeing 6 elements. Where is Dorji? With your own name, where is Dorji? He's empty, she's empty. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, that suffices emptiness meditation. So transform this emptiness meditation into the Vajra, and quickly multiply and share with the demon sentient of all sentient beings. And quickly invoke the Vajra moon from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Descend to you, blessed, and then end dedication with 1 stanza. 1 stanza. From the stanza that we have, you can pick up 1 stanza, whichever you feel is more powerful. And the dedication, you can
change the stanzas, not necessarily you stick to one stanza. The stanzas that we have picked up here in this particular okay. Okay, this stanza is all the stanzas are very powerful. So let's say the stanza 2, page 49, the end of what we had been doing every day. May I in all lives through the four senses merit, never separate from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle. Okay, four wheels. The four wheels, they should be the end note. If the end note is not there, it is there. It should be there as a part of where is it? It is actually part of Lamrim meditation, Lamrim practice. No, this is from it's matter. Four wheels, I'll tell you what the four wheels are. The four wheels are, one, not to be separated with the authentic guru. Not to be separate. To meet with the authentic guru in your next lives. To meet with authentic gurus in your next lives. One. Meet with conducive environment for Dharma practice. Meet with conducive environment for Dharma practice. Okay, number 3 is accumulation of wealth of merit. And then number 4 is the aspiration prayer, that in the future lifetimes that I meet with Dharma, and that I progress along the path, meet and progress along the path. Okay, first meeting with the gurus, authentic gurus in the next lives, meeting with the conducive environment for Dharma practice. Then number 3 is accumulation of great wealth of merits, and then finally aspiration prayer that in the future I will meet with Dharma and that I progress along the path. Okay, these are the 4 wheels of the Mahayana vehicle. Okay, you can say one of these stanzas and then finish. So this will take you like 20 minutes. Okay. Now, if you're only about like say 10 minutes, what should I do? Right? Okay. But don't tell this to anybody else. Keep it to yourself. You'll be probably shocked. What have you learned from Kalachakra Center? Right? Okay, 10 minutes. Okay. So, refuge in Bodhicitta. Stanza 1 stanza, refuge in Bodhicitta. Ye Dharma mantra. Reflect on the meaning. Ye Dharma mantra, and then the meaning. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. The mantra plus the meaning, both. If possible, slowly try to, when you recite the mantra, meaning must be reflected. That you have to learn. But alongside you can recite the meaning also. And then Harsudra mantra. Okay. Then the stanza 12 of the 7 puja. Stanza 12 of 7 puja. And then the switch to the breathing meditation, 21 cycles. 21 cycles of breathing meditation. And then switch to the 4 seals. 4 seals, all composite and seal problem, open down in self-nature, everything is very substance, transcends source nirvana. Right? And then the Bodhicitta, just make it a commitment. May I become Buddha for the 24 sentient beings. 3 times. Then emptiness. Emptiness with 3 points. Dorji, 6 elements, the 2 questions. What am I seeing? I'm seeing 6 elements. Where is Dorji? He's empty. Stay in this experience, that changes into Vajra. And then share this with all sentient beings. invoke the Vajramoon from all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, bless, and then do the dedication. Finish. That will not take you more than 10 minutes. Right? Okay, now, what about if I have only 5 minutes? Right? Okay, only 5 minutes, no, I can't do anything, sorry. If you cannot teach us something to do in 5 minutes, then I will not do anything, sorry. If this is your choice, then refuge in Bodhicitta, 4 seals, Bodhicitta commitment, emptiness, 3 questions, and then spread Vajramoon, receive blessings, conclude 1 stanza, dedication, finish, 5 minutes. Right? Okay. So this is what we should do. Meanwhile, the idea is that at least every day do something. Do something. Be it 5 minutes, every day do something. So first thing that we need to do is we need to build consistency. To do something every day. To do something. Either you do 2 hours a day or you don't do anything. This is wrong. This is where we are going. This is many of the people, when they go to India, they are so inspired. Because your job is behind you. Right? You've forgotten your job. So you have no job there. You're not doing any work there. So you have free time. And then you went there for that purpose, your mind is so inspired. And then you do like 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours like this. Then coming back with work, your household responsibilities, you have to pay the bills, all these things, then you stop. Then it becomes 0. So this is where we're going wrong. Be it 5 minutes, do something. Be it 5 minutes, do something. 1. Number 2, don't, unless and until you are ready with the bodhicitta wisdom of emptiness, there's some degree of experience, confidence in bodhicitta wisdom of emptiness, with some degree of adequate learning of the Buddha Dharma. I would say don't jump to Tantra. Don't jump to Tantra. Don't jump to the receiving empowerments. And okay, so the teaching that is happening here, keep this in mind. Teaching that is happening here, this is not in the form of the guru and student. This is in the form of like university lectures. Don't forget it. This is like a university lectures. So guru disciple thing is non-existent in this. So what I'm saying is that make sure that they say don't jump to look for gurus. Don't jump to look for gurus. You getting it? Don't jump to look for gurus. No, do things recklessly. Don't do things rashly. Right? So first you study well. From what we are doing here, we have learned something. What is bodhicitta, what is wisdom, what is 4 seals, and so forth. We have learned. After learning this, you have a good picture of these things. Then you become very confident. Once you become confident, then you can decide who your guru is. Otherwise, don't go rashly. Eventually, you will end up in a problem. Okay. Then the next is with the practice, like minimum like 5 minutes, 10 minutes something, you must take up time. This is the final dose of for your own happiness. Dose of medicine for your own happiness. Right? And this is the greatest meaning of life. You can realize that. Alongside, then, for example, like this book, which is so precious, it took us so many years to compile this. So it is grounded, the root is the root text, short text, on basis of which his holiness gave teachings for so many years. This I compiled and put them into this, and then additional things which I saw important, which I know is important from my teachers, from my own studies and so forth, I included them. So this is the very precious book. You can read, don't read too many pages a day. At the most, read like 1 or 2 pages. At the most. If you're tired, you can read 1 paragraph, or you could read 1 stanza and finish. Keep it there, and then you sleep. right? At least read something. This will this will make your experience rich. Okay. Then the next part is retreats. Sitting for retreats. Sitting for retreats, generally speaking, in the Tibetan tradition, if you say, I sit for retreat, people say, which deity, which deity you are saying. Which means retreat means reciting mantras. This is not the idea, right? Okay, those who have commitments like this, yes, I'm not saying that these are bad. You can do that. That is one thing, retreat. But what I'm talking about the retreat is that with a busy job, the lifestyle, so you don't really get time to dedicate fully on the Dharma practice. Dharma practice, now the last 1 week, you come to realize what Dharma practice is. Right? We read all these stanzas from the great saints. You come up to realize something to do with the 2 wings to take the Gati Paragati path. So from the 2 wings, Bodhicitta emptiness. Bodhicitta must be rested on the renunciation. Renunciation, Bodhicitta and emptiness, as Padmasambhava indicated as the 3 principal paths. So these 3 things are the real dharma. So retreat meaning that you may not be getting so much time to actually meditate on these 3 on a daily basis, but say sometimes you have long weekends. Long weekends meaning, say, the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday happens to be holiday, or Monday is then Tuesday is holiday, you take Monday off, so then it becomes a long weekend. So you can sit for like 4 days retreat. 4 days retreat, and those people who you expect them to call you, depend on you, then you have to, right from the beginning, you tell them that, okay, the next 4 days, I'm sitting for my personal retreat, no need for you to tell other people, and then if emergency, then you can call me like this, otherwise don't call me, and keep your own time. And then say, if there's a possibility for you, for example, say like coming to Kalachakra Center here, from Paris, right? Then you have to seek permission from Venerable and from Catherine, right? If I can stay here, I want to sit for a short retreat, like 3 days retreat, 4-day retreat, right? And you can come here, you just, the food, whatever you have to arrange accordingly, that you cut off, environment make the difference, one. And in case, if you have just like 3 days, you want to sit for the retreat, then coming here, you're already tired. And then driving 140 kilometers, that's very exhausting, right? In 2 hours, very exhausting, and you're already tired, 1 day gone, and the next day going back, right? So only 1 day retreat. Okay, that doesn't make sense. So the best thing is to do in your own place, wherever you are, in Paris, wherever you do that, right? Just there, say who you expect, who are the people you expect coming to see you or coming to call you. So these people, you just warn them beforehand, saying that the next 3 days I'm sitting for my personal retreat, please keep it confidential, no need to inform anyone else, but you keep in mind that I'm doing this, don't disturb me, right? And then food, whatever, be prepared, and then you sit, you design make it possible, make it 4 sessions. Make it 4 sessions. Be 2 days is fine. You can do make it for 2 days. Be 1 day even is fine. Whole 1 day. Get up in the morning like 5. Start the morning session at say like 5:45. The way we do, right? 5:45 till say initially even the sessions, the timings of sessions, you will feel that it is little bumpy, not too comfortable. This is how we have to go like this. This is how we have to go. And eventually you will be very experienced. After sitting for such retreats 4 times, 5 times, then you become more and more experienced in terms of your timing. So my timing may differ from yours. So generally speaking, make 4 sessions a day. Make 4 sessions a day for the retreat. Say morning, 2 sessions. In between breakfast, 2 sessions. Afternoon, to the short break, like 2 hours break. Afternoon, till like 2:30. after lunch till 2:30, give a break. That is for rest. You can do light reading. Don't read heavy readings. Don't do heavy readings. Just light readings. And if possible, don't sleep unless you have a very long-term habit of sleeping, taking nap, siesta. Right? If you don't have this habit, then you need just distract yourself, either going just walking inside the room, right? Or to a little bit of very light reading, not heavy reading. And then for this, no heavy reading. And then like 2:30 or 2:45, again you start the third session. Again we keep like 40 minutes gap for tea break. Each session can be like 1.5 hours to 2 hours. 2 hours? It can be like 2.5 hours even. And then keep a short break, like 30 or 40 minutes break, tea break. Relax. Then after that again, fourth session. And then sometimes people can have fourth session before the dinner. And then after dinner you do a quick dedication, then go to bed. Right? Don't waste time for any other things. Go to bed with a little bit of recitation, whatever. Okay. And then what actually should you be doing for the retreat? So what we've been doing in the morning, that will be the first and the second session. The morning 2 sessions will be dedicated on this, what we've been doing. Plus you will have more time left. For that, you can then emphasize more on the Bodhicitta. First finish this. For the morning what we've been doing, finish that. Otherwise, if you include the Bodhicitta, the whole Bodhicitta meditation in it, then the Bodhicitta, the Bodhisattva vow, you will have to take very late. So do everything first. What we've been doing in the morning within 2 hours, finish that in the first session and a little bit in the second session. Then whatever time that, then you can emphasize more on at times you can meditate with emphasis on impermanence, just impermanence. Impermanence, read more about impermanence and meditate on impermanence. And then of course with the inclusion of bodhicitta, 4 seals, bodhicitta, emptiness, all these must be there. But say like 60% or 55% of the time spent on impermanence. And then the next retreat, like 55% spent on suffering. Next retreat, like 70% on bodhicitta, and a little bit on the 4 seals, and the like 15% on emptiness. And still the next session, 60% on emptiness, and maybe like 30% on bodhicitta, and the remaining like 4 seals and other things, like 5%. So this is how we have to do the retreats. Okay, if 1 day retreat is permissible, 2 retreats is permissible, 3 days. If you expect like, I'll wait till my retirement, then I'll sit for retreat, I don't know whether it will happen, right? So make it happen now. 1 day retreat. In fact, nowadays in Delhi, there are many people who are doing 1 day retreat, 2 day retreats, they tell their friends. So this is to be encouraged. Okay. Then during the retreats, particularly when you sit for retreats, for the Bodhicitta part, if you want to emphasize on Bodhicitta part, then I would suggest you to read chapter 1 of the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life. Chapter 1, that will trigger a feeling of the importance of the Bodhicitta, and it will give you a sense of the tremendous enthusiasm to practice Bodhicitta. Okay. Now for emptiness, one book that I would suggest is a book by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Hopefully it must be in French also. How to See Yourself as You Really Are. Okay. Now, say for how many of you are related to Kalachakra Center? Of course, we're all related to Kalachakra Center now, right? But those of you who are very closely related to Kalachakra Center, every now and then, raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. In fact, what I'd like to say is that in the first place, that I came to know from Nico that the Venerable Elizabeth has been solely responsible for the coming up of the Nalanda Monastery, Vajrayogini Center, and the Kalachakra Center. So we all should be feeling so grateful to Venerable Elizabeth now. And this is incredibly great, the Dharma service work that you've been doing. So we all feel extremely thankful to you, grateful to you for that matter. And then particularly for the center, to have Gueshe Damdul, we're all very fortunate. And in fact, I met with some of the students, and Venerable Elizabeth Lum was talking very highly of him, and I know him so well from we have been from the same institute, and he's really very good. So the center is extremely fortunate, and particularly people who are a part of the center, they are very fortunate to have such a Gueshe Damdul there as a residential teacher. This is so precious. So what we suggest, don't take for granted that this was always there. Don't take for granted. Make the most of his presence there. Meaning that whatever classes that the center provides, which Venerable the Elizabeth Lum designed it, and then Gueshe Lum teaching it. So if you have no time, then that's different. No need to force yourself. Otherwise, make the most of his presence there. Because for a center to have a Gueshe, and particularly a very good Gueshe, is very difficult, very rare. So therefore, our Kalachakra Center is very lucky to have Gueshe Damdul there. You must make the most of his presence there. Okay, one. And then for this retreat, in fact, it is through the Nico, who we have been knowing each other for some years, 2.5 years from the Root Institute. From the Root Institute, from the first retreat, the Root Institute, I noticed that he is very ardent he has very ardent interest in Dharma. And right from the beginning, I was very impressed. And then consistently, it had been several times that we were together for such retreats. What are the retreats? Brahmana Vartika? No. Madhyamadhyamikarika. Another Bodhicitta retreat. And also Nalanda Master's course. So that way, we are very close connected from every respect. He sent me an email saying that the Kalachakra Center wants to invite you, and then Venerable Elizabeth also sent me an email. So this is how we've been connected. So for me, one of the most happy moments for me is to meet with people and to be connected with people, not in their art gossip, for Dharma purposes. This is one of the best and most enjoyable day for me. So therefore, the manner in which I'm connected to all of you, I'm so happy. I'm extremely thankful to Venerable Elizabeth and Nico for that matter. And then we also have the Kapasin. We have been knowing each other for so many years from Tibet House in Delhi, and she has taken special care of my visit this time also. Thank you so much. And we have one who hopes so selflessly. Who is that? Catherine. Thank you so much. I know that from the day one, and particularly on the birthday of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, I was so impressed by her very positive thinking, very positive, and very pragmatic, and very positive. Who doesn't know how to say no? Right? I was so impressed. And she makes it happen just like this. She makes it happen things like this. I was so impressed. So just when I've been in my own capacity, I've been meeting with lots of people, and some say, oh, it's difficult. Krishna will treat next year. Krishna is very difficult. Even a small thing next year. Catherine, he just make it happen like this. Okay, we did it like this. I think it would be a little difficult. She would just say, yes, how much? Like this. I was so impressed. And she worked so selflessly. While we are attending this class, we're enjoying laughter and so forth, she's sacrificing everything for us. So, Catherine, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And then we have this wonderful, the translator, Christoph, and the extremely, say, the kind, I could feel it, extremely kind. Please translate. Or, Nico, you want to translate? Other he not translate. Okay, so basically, we have a wonderful translator. In fact, we are all very fortunate to have Christoph there, who is extremely kind and very learned, and also very intelligent. And you could see the warmth in him. And it is because I'm also a translator. Because being a translator, I could see the nuances, the skills of the translation. So some people, they translate very precisely, but the rigor is not there. Some people have the rigor, but the precision is lost. So from how the audience, the audience reacting with me, I could see how fast they're doing it, and the quality. From this, I could see that the quality is there, the rigor is there, the passion is there, everything is there. So this is all coming out of his very great intelligence, sharp intelligence, and also so much of love and affection and dedication to Dharma. Thank you so much. I'm so impressed by you. Thank you so much. Okay, and then we have the same. I'm also very thankful to one person who volunteered who requested Nico if food can be given by her. So Ocean, thank you so much, making sure that the food is properly there. Right? Okay, thank you so much. Right. And then we are all very thankful to the cook, our cook, and all the staff of Catherine. We're all very grateful to everyone, and the Jean-Pierre, two Jean-Pierre, the one who is the super maker, who is amazing person, and the Jean-Pierre who helped us with the tree plantation. We're all grateful to them. And there's another gentleman there who is always coming. I don't know. Branab, yes. So we see that it's all because of all these people. The vision of Venerable Elizabeth, her vision, and then actually on the ground, the Catherine taking care of all of us here, and all the assistants of Catherine, and then there's all these things are happening because of the incredibly great blessings and the advice and directions of Lama Subrabhushi. We all should be praying that he really lives long and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. And how many millions of people are touched by Rinpoche, right? And one thing which I'm so impressed by Rinpoche is that his teachings, somehow they're all connected with Bodhicitta and the emptiness. This is something which makes me so happy. So just by seeing this, I always feel so happy whenever I meet someone who says that Guru Lama Subrabhushi is my root teacher. I feel so happy. I always tell them that you're very lucky. You're in a safe hand. This is so precious. So let us pray that Rinpoche lives long and that his wishes will fulfilled spontaneously, and more precisely, the Venerable Elizabeth is being inspired by the original teacher, Lama Yeshe Rinpoche, right? Lama Yeshe. This is an incredibly great wisdom and the foresight of Lama Yeshe Rinpoche to pick up Venerable Elizabeth to go to France, back to France, and to set the platform for the Dharma to flourish. So this is how she's connecting with all these things. This is one thing that we need to keep in mind. And overall speaking, whether Sakya, Kagyu, Yima, Gelug, overall, the whole world, all over the world, we see that this is all happening because of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And let us pray that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that he lives long and that his wishes be fulfilled spontaneously. And let us also dedicate the merits thus gathered that the great learning centers, the centers of learning of Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychology, Buddhist practice, say like Ganden, Sera, Depong, and then the Gyume College, Gyudu College, and all the big monastic learning centers of the Sakya, Kagyu, Nyingma, Gelug, all these traditions, may all they flourish. Let us pray that all these the monastic institutions flourish in the activities of flourishing the Buddha Dhamma. And then, likewise, all the centers which are easily accessible to the lay audience, commoners, like Kalachakra Center, and the Nalanda Monastery, and Vajrayogini Center, and all these centers may let us pray that all these centers, the staff, volunteers, they have a healthy, good life, long life, and all the staff among themselves, there's the harmony, there's a coordination, there's a friendship, there's a brotherhood, sisterhood feeling coming, that there's no conflict happening. The moment conflict happens, then the purpose of the center is defeated. So therefore, may all the staff and the volunteers within all the centers there, may they be harmonious to each other, may they feel the brotherhood and sisterhood amongst themselves, and that they have a long, healthy life, and that whatever the aspiration, the Dharma aspiration that they have, be fulfilled spontaneously. And let me personally dedicate the merit that each one of you, through your concerted effort, whatever the initial light, the spark of the Bodhicitta Vishwanath has been triggered here, may this is something that you take home. From there you light the bonfire, the bonfire of the wisdom of emptiness and the wisdom of the Bodhicitta, so that each one of you will soon see the dawn of the wisdom of emptiness, Bodhicitta in yourself, and that you become such a reliable guide to lead all human sentient beings towards ultimate happiness. Okay, with that in mind, I'd like to invite. Yes, I'd like to invite Venerable Elizabeth. Let us all sit. Okay, Catherine. Yes. That will give later. Okay, Nico. And Krista. And Capucine. Assim. Okay, thank you so much.
On la page 36, page 36, 37, 37. Page 37, page 37. O Sashi Peki Gueshe Damdul This ground, anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this is a good field and upright. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Becoming frustrated with ignorance that grasps to existence, please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind streams overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind streams and overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Most precious Venerable Gueshe Damdul, your teaching is the lamp that removes the darkness in the mind of all the beings. Your eloquence in explaining the most complex ideas is the most beautiful melody to their ears. Your presence is the alarm clock that wakes the beings from the sleep of ignorance. You are the Guru, you are the Buddha. We wholeheartedly supplicate you to live a very long and healthy life. Yadam Guru Ratnam Mandalakam Niryatayami.
On behalf of all the students, we would like to request you to come back next year. You're so compassionate, you are transmitting us the teaching from the Nalanda Monastery, from the Nalanda universities, fulfilling His Holiness wishes in such a practical way, completely adequate for the Western Mass. So please come back next year and fulfill our wishes. And may we all reach enlightenment very quickly.
Thank you, thank you.
If you want to offer a kata to Bodhicittas, somebody offers a kata, it's great.
Please take your seats. We'll do the end dedication prayer. Is there? Is there? Okay. Which page is that? In English, what I have is 276. London Dedication Prayer. In English, what I have is 276. English. Okay. English French 280. 280. Okay, so the dedication as how we already dedicated earlier, with that mind. Let's go to the flow of mind according to the dedication verses said by Kalachakra. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattas, they are watching us, and all sentient beings are with you. And you are leading this prayer with that mind. Let us say the dedication prayers together wholeheartedly. From our two collections, vast of space that I have mastered from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds with minds blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach the state, may I be held in the loving kindness for all lives magistry. May I find the best of the complete created paths of the teachings. May I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clearly with the points of the path as I understand them, may I uphold Buddha's teaching for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion, in whatever directions the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or one step have declined, may we read this precious happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's teachings be nourished for a long time. By even this great path of enlightenment progress completely, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions from their excellent paths never be separated in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold mind and virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may ocean's prosperity spread everywhere. The next dedication is there. It's not there. Okay, the additional dedication prayer. The next page. Kare rave korve shingamsu penda deva manu chungve ne chere sewa tenzin gyasoi chabe sede vado dengyoroshi. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All path of generosity, tenzin gyatso, please remain until samsara ends. Jande bawe che dara kemba bang kundo sambo tenang deshendo deva kundi jeso tado dewa deda tamje rato. Just as the great magician summoned about the true realized things as they are, also dedicate all these merits in the best way that it may follow a perfect example. Tuzun jibe jawa tamje ke noa kama chodo ngaba tagi gewe zawa dibun jan sambo chujira dungo baraki. I dedicate all these words of virtue with the dedication praises the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in the three times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Chanyo senjo rinpoche Bhagya Banam Kyochi Keba Nyamba Mevaya Kone Kondo Prevaisho. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that has not arisen arise and grow, and may that which is arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as continues remain, until then may I truly remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Through the merits of these virtuous actions, may I attain the state of Guru Buddha, and lead all beings without exception into the enlightened state. I dedicate the merits scattered to truth realization of decent praise of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the three times, and to the upholding the Dharma of the teaching realization. Beyond all life through the force of this merit, never separate from the four ways of the mind or vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path of renunciation, Bodhicittas, perfectly in the two stages. For the wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach to enlightenment. In spite of wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I attend the Mother full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to the triple gem, I confess the negativities individually, I rejoice in the virtues of all the pains, I hold the precious burden in my heart. A part of the union of emptiness and compassion is to explain by the Prachara of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the beings in a true name. With the lotus soul of Tenzin Gyatso, we supplicate your wishes of focus spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of negative forces, humans and non-humans, who have the merits through perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas, be truly vanquished through the part of the truth of the rituals. Then all my lives never separate from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities teachers in the past, and equivalent in the state of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general, and the teachings of the Hundred Teachings in particular, even across my life. Okay, let us quickly seal the virtues that we have done, seal the virtues with the meditation emptiness. So sealing the virtue, the benefit is that, okay, both. Okay, sealing the virtues. Sealing the virtue is considered very important. The virtue that we have gathered is not going to be destroyed, not only for you, for me also, by being with you, and then the whole day in the Bodhicitta, vision emptiness. So that way, even I could feel that my mind is much more rigorous in terms of the virtue. So each one of us, no doubt, with such the beautiful environment of the Kalachakra Center, the extremely beautiful environment, and all the venerable Elizabeth Lam, then Catherine, then Nico, and the Christoph, and the Kubasin, and all working so tirelessly here and selflessly working to make this happen, and because of the blessings of the Master Buddha Shaper's blessings of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, for all of us. So there's no doubt the 1 week has been very fruitful, and this is the virtue which is very rarely coming to being like this. So the Buddha said that the harmony of the Sangha is the greatest of the virtue. So the harmony in the spirit of growing in Bodhicitta or emptiness is what we're doing. So this virtue is enormous, and the virtue, to make sure that it is not destroyed, it is sealed. But the meditation is sealed, like stand, with the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let us quickly meditate on the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, so we accumulated all these virtues over the 1 week. Myself and all my friends here, and myself, with the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, sung by all the sentient beings. And who is that person who actually met the became merit with respect to you? Is yourself. So what is this? Who is this you like? So this you, let's see. Okay, how does this self appear to you? So object real, or like a dream coming from the mind? Of course, that's object real. So this is what is actually not true. How can I know this? If this self exists objectively, okay, let us all say this stanza, two lines together by Arjuna. Okay, say this together. If the mirage were to be water, why not those close for the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close for the mirage see water? If the mirage were to be water, why not those close for the mirage see water? Okay. Likewise, if this person would exist objectively, why don't I see this person as I go closer to this object? Let us not go closer to this object. Going closer to the object for the last 5-6 days. We meditate on emptiness of the self. What are you seeing? What are you seeing? I'm just seeing the 6 elements. Going closer to the object, I'm seeing the element of earth, the solid part, element of water, element of fire, element of air, element of space, element of consciousness. Okay. What are you seeing now? I'm seeing 6 elements. Actually, you are seeing the isolate of the 6 elements. Second question. Where is this person? This I disappears. You are actually seeing the disappearance or the empty isolate of the emptiness of the self enters of the person. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, imagine that you slowly come out of meditation. Again, the person comes back. Again, go back in meditation, the person disappears, it's empty. Again, come out, comes back. So constantly there's a change happening. The person, the I, come back, disappear, appear, disappear, appear, disappear. There's constant change happening. But on the object there's no change. On the object there's no change, but the changes happening. These changes happen not on the object, but on the perception. And perception is merely purely subjective. So therefore, anything which is a part of this change should be purely subjective. This I, the person who is meditating, who has been involved in this 7-day retreat, if this person is also part of this change, so therefore it's purely subjective. From the object, what is there? Nothing is there. Stay in this experience for a while. Okay, not only that this person is empty, everything else is like a dream. Everything else is coming from the mind. Nothing really from the object. With this awareness, as you come out, be mindful that everything is coming to existence by the power of dependence on our own mind. Dependence on our own subjective mind. From the object, everything is illusion, everything is empty. So therefore, things do exist, but nothing exists from the object. Everything exists from the subject. So therefore everything is subject real, like a dream. So within the spirit of dream-like, we have to operate, we have to accumulate in virtues, make restorations, doing the sadhanas, chanting, meditating. All these things are happening on the subjective, dream-like subjective level. With this awareness, let us slowly come out of meditation, come. So with this, we have started a retreat with the 2 main agendas. What are they? Be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Let us end this retreat also with the 2 agenda. To reinforce the 2 agenda, be kind to yourself and be wisely kind to yourself. Right? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much. A joy to do with all of you. Thank you so much. And let us pray that we all go to Buddhahood together, all together, towards Buddhahood. Right? Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Okay. So usually Tibetan tradition is that in the end we don't make prostrations. Yeah, that's the Tibetan tradition. So it is like we are casually leaving. Casually means coming back. And this is the auspicious indication.